Hey there, Marvel Universe fans. This is Wesatron. Today we're going to be taking a look at Hasbro's Marvel Universe Professor X action figure. I've never done a Marvel Universe figure on here before. I do have a pretty decent-sized collection, but the way the prices have been rising lately have kind of held me back from expanding my collection there. But I'm a big X-Men fan, so I got a soft spot for them. And he does come with his classic hover chair from the Jim Lee era, which kind of prompted me to take that extra little dive. I found this at my local Disney store for $10.50. So a little bit more than normal retail, but still, you know, better than $15 that I've seen at some places. Standard Marvel U packaging, a little bio here on the back. If you want to take a look at that, you may. And a little shot of Blastar and Jubilee. I'm not probably going to pick up Jubilee just because I don't like the black costume. I prefer in their 90s look, but yeah, solid looking packaging. Let's get him out of package and see what he's like. And here's Professor X out of packaging and floating around in his hover chair, which I think is very cool. I really dig the look of this guy. Just a quick size comparison. Here he is next to Cyclops from Marvel Universe. So in his chair, he's you know, just a hair shorter. He probably should sit a little shorter, I guess, but it may have been, if you notice, he's kind of snub-nosed in this thing. This should probably come out a little bit further and then sit a little lower, but it doesn't look bad at all, and I mean, it looks great, like, with other figures, so that's pretty cool. I think they really did a great job on the chair. They didn't go with the straight, like, super duper smooth, like the Toy Biz one from the 90s. They added a lot of little flourishes here and there, you know, little bits on the front. The bottom is just that same sort of black dome that they had on the 90s one, but still very cool. It holds them up, so that's good. Back's got all kinds of panels and rivets, and it looks very nice. They did like a kind of a red overspray wash on here, and just to help bring out some of those details, maybe look like it's got some power running through it or something. Very cool. And if you notice back here, the interior of the chair is actually textured. Let me get a little closer. You see it's textured and painted there, and it's actually got some folds in the material to make it look real. So I think that's very cool. Now, he does come in and out of this thing. And once this is put together, because it does come in two parts, you can still pull it back apart if you need to. You just kind of have to work it a little bit, and but it will come back apart, and you can see it's just hollow inside. Yeah, so you can close him in by sitting him in sideways and then closing this around him, but there is enough clearance in there to where if you want to, you can just sort of slide him in. You may have to press a little bit, but he will go in there just fine. So that's very cool. I very much dig that. I was hoping that it wasn't going to be that I had to take it apart every time just to get him in, so very cool. Now, the Professor X figure here, near as I can tell, is based off the James Destro figure from SDCC a few years back when the first G.I. Joe movie came out. And I'm guessing that because he's got the screw holes in the side of his legs, and I remember that figure had swivel hinge knees, so I'm guessing this is mostly it, although I think this is probably a new coat. But I'm not 100% sure on that. Very cool looking figure, though. It looks very kind of classically Professor X. The only thing that I would say doesn't look like classic Professor X is the decision to go with a white collar and a blue shirt. If you can see that in there. Professor X, I mean, I wouldn't say he's a rich kid, but he's not one to stand on ceremony, so he wears a suit, but I don't think he would go that far with it, where he's got like the kind of stockbroker-looking suit. I think he would wear a white shirt completely underneath it, at least typically, and the vest is sometimes there and sometimes not, so that's not too bad. Not a whole lot of paint on the figure. I mean, I think the hands are painted, the tie and the collar are painted, although the tie pin is not painted. You can see that there. And then we've got maybe painted shoes. Hard to say on that one. But yeah, not a whole lot of paint overall, although the face is very well painted and looks very nice. I like that they cast it in the plastic. I always like that better than the painted look, because on this scale it always ends up being kind of globby. But yeah, very nice. They painted the eyebrows especially well, because this is such a small figure, and you can see how he's kind of got that inquisitive look, like he's reading minds or something, so I think that's neat. Very nice job. I dig it a lot. The only thing about Sculpt that really stands out to me as being kind of odd is the way his, because this is an overlay piece, this jacket is separate from the rest of the figure. You can see where it clips in the front, is that it gives him kind of this chubby profile. So he looks kind of bulky from the sides. It's not as bad in the chair because you would expect the suit to sort of bunch up a little bit, but when he's just standing there, he does look a little thick. So, not bad though. As far as articulation, it's not, well, Marvel Universe doesn't really have a standard for the line, but it's a little different. We've got a ball-jointed head, which thankfully has a very nice range of motion. It doesn't have the new hinge that a lot of them are using, but, you know, very solid movement. Swivel hinges in the shoulders go all the way up, so very nice. Swivel hinges in the elbows, 90 degrees, and spin. Swivel wrists, very nice. I can't tell exactly what he's got under here because it is blocked, but I am getting rotation, maybe a little back and forth, so I'm guessing there's a ball joint under there, similar to like G.I. Joe and Star Wars and Marvel U, but I'm not positive. We've got true ball joints in the hips, classic G.I. Joe style, so a lot of range of motion there, as much as you want. Swivel hinges in the knees, very tight, 90 degrees, and nice rotation there. And then we have swivel hinges in the ankles. You can see it go up and down, back that far, forward that far, and rotate. I do find it kind of funny that these are the weakest joints on my figure, like on both sides, very, very weak ankle joints, especially this one though, because I think it's funny that they made a Professor X figure that you can pull out of the hover chair and he still can't stand. That's just kind of ironic for me. I love it. But yeah, very nice action figure. Gotta say, if you wanted to put him into some like crazy, like, hey, this is the issue where I'm not in my chair anymore poses, you can. Because he's had a lot of those over the years, even though this guy isn't standing right now. He promised he can do it. You see that weak ankle joint coming into play here. I don't think that would be standard. I think that's more mine. There you go. Like, ha, telepathy. You know, so, yeah, very cool action figure. I dig it a lot. I really, really love the chair. I love the era it invokes. The Jim Lee era is sort of my time in comic books. Jim Lee, and then, of course, you know, Andy Kubert, and unfortunately, Fabian Nicieza. So, there's good times and bad times. But, yeah, very cool figure. He fits very well in the chair, even though I'm not displaying it very well right now. Yeah, I dig it. Very solid. For $10.50, I would say it's worth it. Normally these things had been about $8, $7, $8. Then they crept up to $9 and then $10. And at $10, I was starting to feel like they're definitely not worth it. But with this guy, because of the size of the hover chair, I mean, there's a huge accessory. I would say he's worth it. Even at $10.50, because I had to pay the Disney inflated price, but still worth it. Definitely dig it. I would recommend it. If you get the opportunity to pick this guy up for less than $15, you might want to do it. I do imagine this one's going to be a big seller because people always want Professor X for their collection. He's not wanting to sit right now for some reason. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. But, yeah, very cool figure. Very much dig it. Glad to have him in the collection. If you have any questions or comments about this figure, I know this is a very quick review, but anything at all you'd like to know, throw it in the box below. I'd be glad to answer it for you. And thanks for stopping by. And if you are waiting for the results of the contest, they will be up soon. So thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.